Welcome all American football lovers back to the US Football News Channel. Our content is produced by 24 Hours Online Media. Today we will start with the following notable content. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're as pumped about the NFL as we are, then you're in the right place. Today, we're talking about the latest drama coming out of San Francisco, where 49ers GM John Lynch is having none of the talk about firing head coach Kyle Shanahan. Spoiler alert. He thinks the whole thing is comical, and he's got a pretty strong case. Let's dive into why. The 49ers' struggles and criticism of Shanahan. Alright, so here's the situation. The San Francisco 49ers are currently 5-7 going into Week 14 of the 2024 season. And their playoff hopes are hanging by a thread. After 3 straight losses, including 2 absolute blowouts against the Green Bay Packers and Buffalo Bills, the pressure is mounting. Some people are even calling for Kyle Shanahan's job. Yes, you heard that right. Firing rumors are swirling in the Bay Area. But 49ers GM John Lynch? Yeah, he's not having it. During his appearance on KNBR's Murph and Marcus show, Lynch was asked about all the criticism surrounding Shanahan, and he was quick to shut it down. I found the whole discussion on Kyle rather comical. Lynch said, "We've won 4 of the last 5 division championships. We've been in 2 Super Bowls. The standard here is to win championships. And we've fallen short of that. I understand that, but we have an excellent head coach. And the fact people are talking about that, I do find it comical." Backing Shanahan, despite the struggles, Lynch made it clear that the 49ers are 100% behind Shanahan. And the focus is squarely on getting back on track. "We're 100% behind Kyle and what he brings to our organization," Lynch said. "Our focus is on the Bears and doing everything we can. That's where Kyle's focus is. And that's where all our focus is." And honestly, how could Lynch not stand by Shanahan? After all, this is a coach who's been one of the best in the league since taking over the 49ers in 2017. Under Shanahan's leadership, the 49ers have won 4 NFC West titles in the past 5 years and have made 2 Super Bowl appearances. So, while this season hasn't gone according to plan, it's clear that Shanahan's track record has earned him a little bit of leeway. The hardships the 49ers have faced. Of course, it's easy to forget that the 49ers have been hit hard by injuries and personal tragedies this season. Let's not forget, wide receiver Ricky Pearsall was shot right before the regular season started. And the team has also lost stars like running back Christian McCaffrey and wide receiver Brandon Ayuk to season-ending injuries. On top of that, defensive backs Charvarius Ward and Trent Williams tragically lost their children. With all of this weighing on the team, it's no surprise that the 49ers are struggling to maintain the level of success they enjoyed last season. But Lynch is adamant that these hardships shouldn't be used as excuses. "I think really what Shanahan is meaning to say is we haven't earned the right to be called as good as last season," Lynch said. "You are what your record says you are in this league. And that isn't very good." What's next for the 49ers? While the team's current record is far from ideal, Lynch insists the season isn't over yet. "We've been through a lot as a team. This current team with a lot of stuff that has happened to members of our organization. Injuries, tragic circumstances. Ultimately those are just excuses." He said, "One thing I can tell you is I'm proud of how this group has stuck together. Had each other's back. The other thing I can tell you is the story's not written yet. We're still grinding. And we're still playing." And Lynch is right. It's not over for the 49ers. They might be fighting to stay alive in the playoff race. But as long as Shanahan and Lynch are at the helm, this team still has a chance to turn things around. The season is long, and anything can happen in the NFL. The Shanahan-Lynch era. Consistency amidst the chaos. Let's not forget, Shanahan and Lynch are in their 8th season together in San Francisco. Under their leadership, the 49ers have only missed the playoffs 3 times. The last time they failed to make it was in 2020. And while this year hasn't gone as planned, that kind of consistency is hard to ignore. Lynch is sticking by Shanahan through thick and thin. And he's made it clear that the coach's job is not in jeopardy. The focus, for now, is on getting back on track and finishing the season strong. Closing thoughts. So, while the 49ers may be facing some tough times, one thing is clear. John Lynch is not about to throw Kyle Shanahan under the bus. The two have built something special in San Francisco, and even with all the struggles this season, Lynch believes the story isn't over yet. What do you think, though? Is it time for the 49ers to panic and make a change? Or do you agree with Lynch that Shanahan deserves to see this season through? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, is Christian McCaffrey's season over? And subscribe for more NFL 49ers? We've got you covered with all the latest updates and analysis. The San Francisco 49ers have had one heck of a season. Take care and keep grinding. They're riding high on Super Bowl dreams. The next, they're down in the dumps and battling injuries like they're in some kind of dramatic sports movie. But if there's one thing that stings more than anything else, it's watching a star player go down. Enter Christian McCaffrey, the all-pro running back who was placed on injured reserve after a sprained PCL during the team's crushing 23-20 loss to the Buffalo Bills. Yikes. Talk about a tough break. Huh? The injury drama. A big hit to the 49ers' hopes. First, let's rewind. The 49ers came into the season with big aspirations. They were Super Bowl contenders, folks. But instead of marching through the season with swagger, they've been hit by a series of unfortunate events. Injuries galore. And now, McCaffrey, one of the most dynamic and reliable players on the roster, is out. McCaffrey, known for his elusive moves and heart-stopping runs, was placed on injured reserve following the game against the Bills. But the plot thickens. He didn't just get an average run-of-the-mill injury. No, this was a sprained PCL. And we all know how serious those things can be. Initially, the medical team thought he'd be sidelined for a good 6 weeks. That puts the 49ers in a very tricky spot, especially with just 5 weeks left in the season. Hope from Coach Shanahan? Maybe? Now, let's take a step back. While Coach Kyle Shanahan could have taken the "everything's fine, we've got this" approach, he actually offered fans a glimmer of hope. When asked whether McCaffrey could make a return in time for the playoffs, Shanahan responded with a cautious but optimistic, "Yeah, I believe so." Yeah, might sound a little non-committal. But hey, it's something. After all, coaches are masters of keeping their cards close to their chest. But Shanahan's comment wasn't the only update. Fans, and McCaffrey himself, were waiting for something more substantial. Could McCaffrey really be back for the playoffs and somehow lead the 49ers to a Cinderella story? Or was the season already too far gone? McCaffrey's Instagram, the ultimate spoiler. But McCaffrey's Instagram post later in the day might have dropped a spoiler on the whole "will he return this season" narrative. In a heartfelt post that didn't exactly scream, "I'll be back next week," McCaffrey shared his feelings about the season, using past tense that kind of threw a bucket of cold water on the fans' hopes. "This wasn't my year," McCaffrey said, "and sometimes when it rains, it pours. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can hold the line." Now, we all know McCaffrey is known for his positive attitude, but this post felt a little bit like a mic drop. He did follow up with a pledge to